the pineapple.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. He wants the pineapple.
He wants the pineapple.
Anyway, it's an inside joke here. This is Let Us Interrupt You here on Monday, May 9th, 2022, episode 45.
Mm-hmm.
I am Joseph Olivo.
You know who I am.
He knows he knows who he is. Everyone knows who he is. But
who am I?
But you are Michael Smith.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. We're going to start with some sad news today. The report, unfortunately, we have a young player who passed away, 31-year-old with Adrian Payne.
Adrian Payne.
31 years old. Just found today he was in a shooting in Orange County.
Yeah, man.
Very sad to hear right now. Condolences to the family, friends, to Adrian Payne, and may God watch over him right now as he sends him to heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so that's where we're going to start for today. Very sad news. 31 years old, very young guy.
Yeah, man. Pretty sure he was in the league like a few years ago.
Exactly.
It's crazy. Life comes at you fast, man.
Very disappointing. We're also going to get into it right now. Wrestlemania Backlash, which took place last night in Providence, Rhode Island. I wasn't going to go to the show. It didn't give me a lot of hype. I wasn't, the booking of the show and how they put the show together.
The booking for the show was like pretty lackluster.
It was lackluster.
It's just repeat feuds.
Yeah.
And then basically it's like a whole WrestleMania rematch card.
It's basically what it was. But, in this case right now, the Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair build up to that match was just It
was very lackluster.
Very lackluster, very, very cliche-ish.
Since we're talking about that, we might as well get that away. Ronda did make Charlotte say, "I quit." Ronda's the new SmackDown Women's Champion.
Yeah.
But yeah, the build was just so lackluster.
It was really lackluster.
And first of all, Ronda lost at WrestleMania from a big boot. So yeah. It's like, yeah.
That's what made it even more harder to get behind.
It was basically talk crap, a brawl.
That's all it was, really.
And honestly, who did not see Ronda win this match? This match was so obvious.
It was obvious.
You can't have
from the stipulation. I mean,
I quit. Like
at this,
you don't think a professional fighter will say I quit?
No, it's just not going to happen. I mean, anybody who thought that.
And apparently, Charlotte Flair is injured, but in reality, she's going to be taking time off because she's getting married to Andrade. No, they got back together. Now they're getting married.
Oh, they got back. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's why she was wearing that Andrade.
Former WWE superstar Andrade Cien Almas. Now his name is Andrade El Idolo. He wrestles for AEW.
Yeah.
And if they are actually going through, I wish them the best.
Yeah. Not going to last long, but yeah. Anyway.
Depends on the connection you have with the person.
Exactly. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins start off the show. They start exchanging holds to begin the match.
Another banger of a match.
Yeah, Rollins getting the better of the counter right now, starting off right now. It was really Cody Rhodes' head for most of the match right now. Cut off inside the ring and really took control of the match. Rhodes won back some momentum by slamming Rollins' face into the upper steps. Did not really last long because Rollins turned the whole thing around with a clothesline. Rhodes bounced back from Rollins' control, landing some trademark techniques. Rhodes popping Rollins in the throat, face planting him into the ground, suplex spot, disaster kick. The usual things you see. Yeah.
Cody Rhodes won via roll up, but not really like a roll up. He grabbed the tights. Seth Rollins tried to do it to him. He did it back to him. Cody won again.
So I was 1-0 in that pick there.
I'm not gonna lie. I honestly thought Seth was gonna win, but in a cheating way. But turns out Cody won in a somewhat cheating way.
Grabbing the tights right now. And, almost exploding Rollins' ass a little bit there. I mean, if you didn't see the roll up there, it was kind of showing a lot of ass crack there. I'm not going to lie. That was kind of disturbing.
Yeah, a lot of ass.
That was not good.
But Cody won.
Yeah.
Honestly, this feud's been pretty good.
It's been pretty good. I like where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to continue.
But honestly, Seth needs to get a win. I don't think he could lose to Cody 3 times in a row because I feel like that would hurt his credibility as a wrestler.
I don't think it would in this case. I think
just like when he lost to Edge twice.
Yeah.
But that feud, honestly, he lost the feud, but it didn't really hurt him as much.
And I don't think him losing this feud would hurt him as much either going out 3-0. I think in this case right now, you're trying to get Cody back. Cody's in the face to come. Rollins going to be around for a long time.
Yeah, Rollins is still going to be like...
Cody, we don't really know what his plans are going to be because nobody thought he'd be going back to WWE. Now here he is. Yeah. And we thought he'd be running for governor for Atlanta. We don't know if that's still in the cards.
I believe Cody... I'm going to say this one now. I believe Cody was going to win a world title by the end of the year.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's definitely going to happen.
I think so too. It's just depending on who will be champion by that point? Will Roman still be champion by that point, or
Most
will
likely,
Roman drop one of the belts before?
Roman will be champion.
Yeah.
And he'll just straight up just drop it right there.
Yeah. Lashley almost all I can say about this match was that almost won. So I
Almost
was
won.
So I was 2-0 there in my pick there.
No,
Nothing much of a match there.
This feud is
Simple stuff.
this feud is basically pretty mid.
It's just,
Bobby Lashley went from being WWE champion to feuding with Almost.
and honestly, he should be the real feud is with MVP. And
Yeah,
that's really the whole thing. And
The whole thing's real, yeah. It's
And
real with
I-
MVP,
and-
but like Almost is just in the mix because
he's just there. Yeah.
Almost needs a manager. MVP will be a great manager.
And I think MVP should get back in the ring at this point. I think he should build.
I feel like MVP could still wrestle.
I think what they should do, in realistic terms, and I don't know if this is meant for a Hell in a Cell match, but they should do an MVP Lashley match inside Hell in a Cell. You betrayed me. You screwed
Honestly,
me over.
yeah, it would
I
make
mean,
it would make sense for a Hell in a
would
Cell
make,
match.
it would make sense in that whole thing, and you blow the whole thing up in that one match.
Well, if it's Lashley versus Almost versus, and
That wouldn't make a lot of sense because it would turn into a 2-1 run handicap. Unless you're gonna have MVP get the pin here and Almost just stands in the corner looking like a doofus, and he doesn't even get the credit for the win in that triple threat match, unless it's a handicap match. But then it's like, what the hell's the point? If MVP doesn't want to get the pin in the end there, that makes Almost look bad, and it makes Almost turn on MVP instantly. I think it's too soon for that. But yeah, it ended up basically that there was a referee distraction there. Almost was distracting the ref. MVP basically hit him in the face with this cane, the pimpin' cane.
the pimping
Almost did a great Kali slam, pinned him 1, 2, 3.
Every big man is going to have like the great Kali slam as like a
That's
finisher.
basically what it is. Yeah, this match was great according to CBS Sports. It's a C+. I gave it honestly a D+. The Rollins Rhodes.
No, the
match
thing is,
a solid
almost
D.
is a big guy. Big guys don't really move around good unless they're like physically gifted.
Next match was AJ Styles and Edge, and right out of the gate, AJ Styles started beating the crap out of Edge. He had a moonsault from outside the ring, landed on his feet. Committed the final forearm to early Edge counter with a big boot. Basically, Edge was targeting working the right shoulder the entire time. Basically, Styles managed to duck one of Edge's attacks and hit him with a pin.
Let's just skip to the end. A hooded figure came out, interfered, pulled AJ off the ropes. Edge won via pass out submission.
Yeah, it was basically the bulldog hold that Moxley uses right now in AEW wrestling to put him to sleep.
And it turns out that hooded figure was Rhea Ripley.
That wasn't that surprising.
Everyone knew Rhea Ripley was going to join.
That
them.
was
It's great for her because like it adds more to that group and to her credibility as a women's wrestler.
Yeah, great. If I had to give that thing of grade, it was a problem.
Well, let me see
grade.
about this feud. This feud has honestly been one-sided. I honestly thought AJ would win this match.
I thought AJ would win this match too.
Like, it's just to like bring another group. AJ's lost 2 matches in a row. You know, I found this fact. AJ has not won a pay-per-view match since 2019.
Really?
Yeah. I just saw that earlier today. I'm like, what, really?
That can't be right.
Apparently that's
2019.
Apparently.
What was the last pay-per-view that he won? Because that really doesn't sound right at all. It's been since 2019. I mean,
I know.
I'm trying to figure this out now because AJ had to win at least one pay-per-view match.
I saw something earlier that said AJ hasn't won a pay-per-view match since 2019. I'm like, wait. I think they're talking about probably as a singles competitor.
Right, yeah.
Because I remember last year at WrestleMania, he did win the tag titles of Almost.
Yeah.
But Almost didn't get, but AJ didn't get the pin, Almost did.
Yeah.
Yeah, when was the last time AJ won a singles match on a pay-per-view?
I don't know.
I think it was 2019. Yeah. So, like.
Well, I mentioned earlier that Ronda Rousey won the SmackDown Women's Championship in an I Quit match. This match was all over the place at this point. Out in the crowd, they were brawling, chair shots, kendo stick war. Rousey at one point was yanking the crap out of Charlotte's arm upside down as they were both hanging on the ring post. Well, the top rope stuff, not the posts. Well, I guess you can see the posts. Anyway, Charlotte said this was your last chance. She had a chair in the ring. Rousey kicked the chair in Charlotte's face, set her for the armbar, and she said, "It's too late for you." I think she said it was like "I'm not quitting on you, bitch," blah blah blah, and then put the armbar in there and forced Charlotte to say I quit. And that was predictable. It was obvious there. The best match, I would say, that in the main event was probably the best 2 matches of the entire show. I mean,
What about Cody and Seth?
I tied up with
Ronda.
No, actually, I tied it with AJ and Edge because what I did was I said the main event was the best thing because the crowd was popping for that entire match. They would be popping for Jey Uso at one point. I'll get to that in just a second.
Jey Uso's lit.
And this match here had a pop in it too. Like everybody was standing up, and I watched the fan base. They were actually standing up and actually cheering on this match. It was like the same thing as the main event here. I go by that reaction itself.
Mm-hmm.
The Edge AJ Styles match was almost similar to the Cody Rhodes Seth Rollins match, like if not comparison for like what they had at both their WrestleMania matches.
I mean, the crowds here in Prague are amazing, no matter what.
You know, people that say that Providence is underrated. Let me tell you something.
It is underrated. Don't hate on us.
Don't hate on us. It's not underrated at all.
Bring your concerts. Bring everything.
Yeah.
Bring an AEW event to Providence.
Yeah. I would say that match is an A+ in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
This match here, Madcap and Happy Corbin, I could care less about. C-.
Yeah.
All it was Madcap Moss and
just being Baron.
Selling for Happy Corbin for a while. He got to come back, and then that was it. Madcap Moss got the win. I didn't even watch how the match ended. I just know Madcap Moss was.
So it said he won via sunset flip.
Oh, so he had a sunset.
I mean, hey, he got a clean win. So that's
he actually had a sunset flip. I actually didn't think
the sunset flip ends a match for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, that's a shocker. And Baron Corbin looked like he was dressing up right now for his thing with his chance to be in the Red Peppers concert. So there you go.
Honestly, he should just go back to his lone wolf persona because Baron Corbin's entire WWE career, I don't understand. It started off promising, and then it just went downhill. First, he started off in NXT.
The Happy Corbin stuff was kind of getting over, I think, a little bit because he was actually winning some matches.
No, the bum Corbin stuff was kind of funny. First, he started out as the lone wolf, had the long hair, etc. He had that winning streak. He still has a cool finisher.
Yeah.
Only one person's kicked out of it, Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
And then, literally out of nowhere, I guess they're like, "Hey," or he was like, "Hey, I'm losing my hair rapidly. I just shave it off." And they're like, "Okay, we're gonna rebrand you as Constable Corbin." And then that gimmick was just so annoying. Because I remember it was a good few week stretch on Raw where he was interfering in every single match on Raw.
Yeah.
And it got to the point everyone was complaining, and then W's yeah, we're gonna give you what you want. In reality, they've never done that.
Yeah, they don't know what they're doing at this point. And
it was Constable Corbin, then it was Corporate Corbin.
Mm-hmm.
Then he became
the guy who wanted to take out the Shield, and he.
Let me go back to a lone wolf persona because that's when he only won his only title, the U.S. title, which was really forgettable.
It kind of was. I actually forgot he was champion.
Yeah, I feel like he should. I feel like he should have won more than that.
The Money in the Bank failed cash in.
The money, I forgot.
Which also.
You know what? Oh yeah, I remember it happened in Promise. Until you said that, I totally forgot he even won Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he lost it to Jinder Mahal because of John Cena distraction.
Yep.
Yeah,
he lost to John Cena the next what was it, 5 days later?
And that's what put him into the U.S. title picture. So it's we can't give you the world title, but he had to take the U.S. title.
Yeah. Couldn't give you this. Just take this title.
Yeah. No, apparently he was I remember this. Apparently he was set to win the title. Probably not at that SmackDown event, but probably sometime down the road. But apparently, he angered some people in the back because he was talking crap about.
It was something.
It was something about the military,
right?
And he said some comment that got everyone offended.
Mm.
I mean, that'll do it for you. So in reality, he kind of ruined his own push by doing that.
That's fair.
I mean, Constable Price, I'm yeah, take the U.S. title, keep it for how long did he have for? I think only I think he had for a few months.
I think it was a few months. I think he had it for.
And
then he lost it to Ziggler, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think was he ever pinned in that? I don't even think he was even pinned.
No, he won it in a triple threat match with Ty Dillinger.
Yeah,
Sean Spears and AEW. AJ Styles, who was the current champion at the time.
Yeah, but then when he lost,
originally it was supposed to be AJ Styles versus Corbin, but then on a SmackDown before that, Ty Dillinger beat Baron Corbin. He was like, "Hey, I should be in this match. I should be contending for your title."
Yeah,
he was put into the match only to take the pin.
Yeah.
Then the next week, Corbin beat Styles clean.
Yeah, right. But when he lost the title, was he pinned when he lost the title, or was Robert Roode pinned? Because I couldn't remember.
It was Ziggler, Roode, and Corbin. I think Roode ate the pin in that match.
I figured it was Roode. Okay, I couldn't.
And then that whole title made no sense because Ziggler literally gave up the title the next SmackDown.
Didn't buy Roode the next day afterward, the same week. I think he gave it up, or was it like a tournament and it was determined that following week? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was a tournament, and Bobby Roode won it. But then a month later, he lost the belt to Randy Orton.
Yep.
And then Randy Orton lost it to
Jinder Mahal.
Jinder Mahal, and Jinder
And they
Mahal.
lost to Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy.
They lost to Shinsuke Nakamura, and you know the rest.
Yeah.
Who's a WWE fan? Let's move on to the blood.
Let's go back to the roles. Baron Corbin.
Oh God.
Lone Wolf.
Why
Constable.
Why are we talking about Baron Corbin? So who cares? The guy ruined his push. He's got.
No, but let's just go through every single gimmick he's had.
We just did.
No, we stopped at Constable Corbin, then Corporate Corbin.
That came after his U.S. title.
Then, that came after. Then it was King Corbin because he won King in the Ring.
Yeah, and then he went to Poor Corbin.
Then he was like Bum-Ass Corbin.
Yep, and then he became Happy.
Then Happy Corbin.
Yeah.
So, no matter what gimmick y'all give him,
it sucks.
It sucks.
It sucks. It's terrible. It's one of the worst gimmicks they ever had.
He should have just kept the Lone Wolf gimmick the entire time. He would have been fine.
He should have had a lone Golden Wolf at this point. At this point, it would have made no difference.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to the main event. Bloodline, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and Jimmy Uso. Match was great. I thought it was probably tied with the I Quit match. This tag team match which really, this is the thing.
There was so much stuff happening in this match.
I had McIntyre and RK Bro winning this. I was shocked that the Bloodline walked away with this victory.
Yeah, I thought they were going to win too. I thought Drew McIntyre's going to pin Roman or something, and that'll set up that feud for the world title.
Riddle took control of the match. Started off with Jimmy, like the recent match on SmackDown. McIntyre planted Jimmy with a suplex knee, got in the ring. Then he wanted Roman Reigns to get into the ring. He got into the ring. He teased a little bit, saying, "Oh, you guys want me?" Teased the crowd, tagged himself back out, and tagged. I think it was either Jay or Jimmy. He tagged back in. I can't remember. Anyway, this was a crazy match. I mean, at one point
this was main event worthy.
It was main event worthy. I mean, at one point you had a tag into. At one point, Riddle was getting beat up. That's how Riddle finally found some momentum. Orton got tagged in right now at this point. He delivered some RKOs. One to Jimmy, one to Jay. I think it was one. Was it? Yeah, I think it was
one to Jimmy, one to Jay.
No. Oh no, it was one to Jimmy and one to Roman.
Yeah,
Roman was the great. I don't know if that RKO was a botched or it looked like a stutter at one point at first, but the way Orton caught it, I thought it was amazing. Roman also took a Claymore kick in this match as well. Reigns at one point, though, things was escalating outside the ring. Jay and Riddle were fighting in the ring at that point. The crowd was into this match. They really were. Outside, though, Orton, I think slammed Jimmy on the announce table.
I think
Reigns,
Roman slammed Drew through the table.
No, I know that. But that was before. I was building into that. So Roman hit the Superman punch on Randy Orton. McIntyre basically cleared the table up. Was ready to powerbomb Roman through the table. Roman countered, hit the rock bottom through the announce table. And yes, I'm calling it the rock bottom. I know it's called the Uranagi, but he did a rock bottom. Let's be honest, he did. Jey Uso got a belly suplex from Riddle, tagged himself in. Roman speared Riddle 1, 2, 3. This might as well have been a 3-on-1 handicap match because Roman just took out everybody by himself.
Right.
I mean, towards the end there. I mean, he really did.
A surprising clean finish.
This was an A+ finish, in my opinion. This was a great win. There's been rumors around right now that Roman's been teasing about leaving WWE, which this was not the first time.
Yeah, you've cut a promo on a house show before Backlash.
Yeah.
But apparently he signed an extension, so it's actually that he's not going to work many live events.
No, but he might be part-time now and doing the Hollywood again, like The Rock would.
I think it's way too soon for him to do that.
Well, I don't know.
But overall, this was a really great show. The only thing that kind of sucks was that there was only one title defended.
Yeah, that's what really annoyed me too. I mean, they could have done something to build.
They could have brought Ricochet in to defend the IC title at least.
They could have had Bianca Belair defend her title.
Or just make.
Or in this main event, I don't know, have winner take all. That would have made a lot more sense. I mean, this.
No, because it's weird. Because it was teased that they were going to build a unification match between the Usos and RK Bro, and then it just got switched.
Yeah, and then Roman randomly removed the contract. Even though he was the one that suggested to the Usos, "Hey, beat RK Bro. I want the Raw tag team titles."
Honestly, I prefer that they leave the belts, leave the separate brands as it is, give more opportunities to everyone.
There's not a lot left in the tag team division, though. That's the sad part.
Well, if they actually give a crap about the tag division,
which they don't. Which is why at this point, why even have two championships?
I mean, they just got to care more about tag team wrestling because every other company cares about it.
Yeah,
WWE should.
Yeah, all they care about is Roman Reigns, though.
Yeah,
because they only see one person as a face because they focus on charities. They focus on other stuff. It's just like focus on wrestling. You're a
Focus
wrestling
on-
company. Who cares about?
Oh,
the
so
showbiz?
like, man,
Who
people
cares?
saying WWE should go back to like TV 14. They
They
should.
should go back. They should be rated R. Never mind.
The rated R. They shouldn't cater to kids.
No.
Honestly,
And
why
they-
would
and they-
wrestling?
and they
Why
can't-
would wrestling
why would-
even cater to kids?
They don't.
Wrestling
They
is
should-
violent.
Exactly. You
Wrestling is violent regardless of what you rate it.
Exactly. You can bring in a chair. You got chairs. You got fire extinguishers. You got
Chairs, fire extinguishers, steel steps, hand people with weapons.
How is that a PG thing for kids? I'm just curious.
Like how?
Like if you're catering, if you're trying to cater to kids right now who want to attack students in their own school, congratulations, you're doing a good job of that.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, like what's the point?
Just go back to TV 14. I remember like during the
Yeah, go back
pandemic, there was like one episode that was rated TV 14.
Yeah.
And then
and
that was it.
And that was when the what was it? Retribution just attacked everybody and blew up stuff.
Yeah.
That's what made it TV 14. Oh, we have to blow up stuff. Great.
Just put it back to TV 14. Honestly, it will get more eyes on the product.
It really would.
Kids will watch it regardless.
Kids are always gonna watch it regardless. It doesn't matter.
Heck, I grew up watching wrestling when they were having live sex celebrations in the middle of the ring.
So did I.
So like, I don't know.
No, it's just,
Have a sex celebration in the ring. I don't care.
exactly.
Yeah.
Bingo, what's his name? Anyway,
Well, the show is probably like a 8.5 out of 10, I say.
I would say 8.75 out of 10. I just you take away those two matches.
Just
there,
a lack
it
of
makes- it makes
title
it a 9.
matches.
So just take away the Corbin match and the almost match, and you get like a 9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, given the Ricochet title defense.
Anyway, we gotta get into this Red Sox conversation. Well, it's gonna mainly be me because he doesn't really care about baseball.
No.
But the Red Sox over the weekend, if nobody even noticed, well, I mean, you probably do know this.
They suck.
Thank you. But they were terrible over the weekend.
They suck.
They got swept at home against Chicago White Sox on Mother's Day weekend. And I'm going to say this again because I think it has to be well said. Shine Bloom is the shittiest general manager in baseball right now.
They suck.
He cannot manage this freaking team to save his life. 3 years now, this Red Sox team has not had a closer. Right now, they have no active roster. Michael Wacha, who is their only starting pitcher left at this point, who's actually pretty decent at this point, besides Evaldi, is the only pitcher left right now at this point. He's on a DL right now for 15 days. You got Chris Sale, who just got another 40 days extended to his DL. He's already on a 60-day DL. Now he's on a 100-day DL. This Red Sox team is dreadful. They're 10-19 right now, in 5th place right now in the American League East right now. You are right now 9 games back right now of the Yankees for 1st place. You are 8 games back for 2nd place against the Blue Jays. You're 7.5 back, I believe, in the Tampa Bay Rays. And right now, you're basically 2 games back right now of the Baltimore Orioles. They suck. They're worse than you. But yet somehow this Red Sox team is still sucking every single freaking week. And it's driving me freaking nuts. It's getting to a point now where I don't even know why we even signed Trevor Story. Why do we sign a guy at this point who can't hit against freaking right-handed pitchers? I don't get it. And apparently he's been in this series 1 for 12. He struck out 6 times. 6 times. He couldn't do crap against Dallas Keuchel over the weekend. He couldn't do one single thing. And let's see. Throughout the series season so far, you want to know what his hitting average, how many times he's hit the ball? 3 times. You want to know how many at plate appearances he's had? 26. He's 3 for 26. 3 for freaking 20 flipping 6. This is
Goated.
This is pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. There's no excuse for a guy who signed for 6 years, $170 million, and he's playing
Like
absolute
dog
freaking-
shit.
Exactly. Thank you. He absolutely sucks. And if you want my honest opinion,
You should give me that money. The
this is a
hell?
guy who fired his agent because he didn't want to play in Texas. You want to know what I've seen so far in the first, I don't know, month or so for Trevor Story's career here in the Red Sox? He don't want to be here. He didn't want to be here in the first place. He's playing like crap purposely. You know, he's already got the money.
He just saw the money and was like, okay.
Whatever, exactly. And if he didn't want to be here, then ask for your release. Get out of town. Stop wasting the Red Sox time. Will he get better throughout the year? I don't know. I think this year at this point right now, because he's so far in his at-bats, he's had 0 home runs, he's got 10 RBIs, but somehow he's 3 for 26. How are you 3 for 26? How are you 3 for 26 and somehow got 10 RBIs? And another thing, anybody that says out there that Max freaking Barnes is a good closer, you need your head examined. There's something wrong with you. He's already blown 4 saves within the last 5 days.
Goated.
He's 0 for 3 this season in the losses in these games. How is he only 0 for 3? I have no idea. Garrett Whitlock, is he a starting pitcher, or is he a mid-relief guy, or is he a closer? You can't have all 3. He can't do every single thing for you. I know you give the guy a 5-year extension, but there's no reason for this freaking guy to do 3 different things at once every freaking week. It's not going to help your team. Right now, you're 10-19. You have a crappy record. You're a lot better than this. This is pathetic. Absolutely freaking pathetic. And if you ask me, this manager has no idea what he's doing with the bullpen. He relies so much on the bullpen because he listens to Chai Bloom's wisdom. You want to know something? You have no freaking bullpen. Your bullpen freaking sucks. Ryan Brazier, the fat turd burglar, who might as well be a freaking Jimmy Chunger away from exploding. That's how fat he is. He can't even freaking throw a fastball that's at 90 miles per hour. I mean, I'm being honest here. The guy sucks. He needs to go on a Winter 180 weight loss program and quickly. He sucks. He's so fat. Let's see. Who else? Robles. What a name that is. Robles. He sucks. He came to last more than 2 minutes on the freaking mound after he's been warming up for the better part of 45 minutes in the freaking bullpen. He sucks too. You got all these bullpen guys, and they all freaking suck. And the only good one that's there is Garrett Whitlock, and he has got to do 5 innings because your bullpen freaking blows. Your bullpen sucks. You have no starting pitcher. Nick Pivetta, who's 0 for 4 this year. He can't pitch to save his freaking life. And every time he's in there, he can't last more than 3 innings. Rich Hill, who's now on a DL because of COVID, he's 40-something years old, and he starts more at behind the plate, and actually could have played more innings the game against the Angels on Thursday, and they didn't let him do it because they rely so much on their bullpen because they're all about the analytics. You want to know what the analytics are telling me right now? Your bullpen sucks, and your analytics system is complete freaking heart shit garbage. You're garbage. They're not databases. They're baseball players who actively freaking suck.
Bars.
They suck. Bobby Dahlbeck, your first baseman, by far the worst first baseman I've ever seen in my entire life. This guy might as well be going back to freaking Worcester to figure out how to play first base, or go on YouTube and actually watch a 60-minute video on how to play the freaking position. He can't do it. He can't do it. And Trevor Story. Oh, man. I already know I just went on a rant about this guy, but this guy fired his agent after he signed with the Red Sox. If you didn't want to play for the Red Sox, just sit down. Don't play, because honestly, we might actually win without you, because you're a freaking bum. And Xander Bogaerts, who's been good so far up to this point, wants to leave. And you want to know why? Because you got someone like John Henry who doesn't even know what the hell he's doing. He's so worried about the Pittsburgh Penguins winning the Stanley Cup right now that he could care less about the team that he's owned now for the last 20 years. This Red Sox organization is freaking stupid. Giant Bloom is the worst general manager I've ever seen. The guy might as well be a nerdy robot in a human body. That's what he is. He's basically Bender from Futurama, except boring and freaking vanilla. That's what he is. Boring and vanilla. You might as, if he had a girlfriend right now, I bet the girlfriend's ready to leave him. That's how sour he is as a manager. He cannot manage this team. And Alex Cora, who's aging at this point, he's got more gray than my dad does. And he's actually younger than my freaking dad. That's the sad part. He's got more gray hair than my father does. And my father's 13 or 14 years older, I'm pretty sure, than Alex Cora is. How sad does that sound? How sad is that? He looks like an old grandfather out there, and he's only in his 50s. This guy's aging so quickly right now. I'm watching his Red Sox even go by as he's going on a 10-19 record. And this is the same team that last season went to the ALCS and had a chance to win the World Series. And you blew it in Houston. Now you can't win a single home series. You lose 2 out of 3 to the Los Angeles Angels. You got swept at home against the Chicago White Sox, a mediocre White Sox team at best, I may say. And right now, you can't, in the series before that, you can't beat the Baltimore Orioles. You can't beat the Baltimore crappy Orioles, who've got no management for backbone. Their bullpen's just as bad. They have no starting rotation, and their players are not that good. Yet you treat them like they're the Houston Astros the weekend before. Congratulations, you are now the new Baltimore Orioles. That's my case. And Chime Bloom, kiss my ass. I'm done with that rant. Moving on.
Bars.
Moving on. So the Boston Bruins, actually on a happier note, the Boston Bruins won this weekend. They actually surprisingly even up their series against the freaking Carolina Hurricanes after being punched in the mouth and all the 6 or 7 matchups they had before this. Now they are going to have a chance to win Game 5 tomorrow night against the Hurricanes in Carolina and go back to Boston and close the series out and win in 6 games. And hopefully Bruce Cassidy can keep his job. They won 5-2. They've done this now without McAvoy, without Lindenholm. It's been perfect. And Jeremy Swayman should have stayed going from day one. That Eulis, oh my God, pulled the wool over our eyes and said, yeah, I suck. And you know what Jeremy Swayman said? Yeah, screw the Hurricanes. I'm the Hurricane. I'm going to beat you guys. And that's exactly what he did. 26 saves in the 2 games he played against the Hurricanes in the 2 games. So there you go. Bruins are doing good. Celtics are on tonight.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing the Bucks tonight. Hopefully they even up their series. Go back to Boston with a 2-2 advantage. So that's that. That's my take.
Yes. That's his take.
That's my take. Yep. That's my hot take today. I know I went on a rant just now about the Red Sox right now. I'm done ranting. I let my anger out. I let my 10 minutes of ranting about, actually it was more like 7 minutes ranting about the Red Sox out of me. So I'm good. We're going to review the Suns and the Mavericks they were on yesterday. After the game, though, this was actually more of a story here because the Suns lost.
Mm-hmm.
They lost 111-101. The 76ers beat the Heat 116-108. James Harden had 34 points. Jimmy Butler had 40. That's all you need to know there. The Sixers went and beat back. Well, they're themselves again now. They've won 2 straight now at this point. And you want to know, here's my take on the 76ers right now. They might actually win this series.
Speaking of Embiid.
Yeah.
Actually, we're going to talk about that after the ends.
Okay, well, I don't know what's going on my phone right now. Apparently, I cannot connect to the scoring right now. I'm going to show you the rest of the box score here. Well, actually, not show you, but read it off the thing, off the cuff. I'm not sure why this phone's acting like a retard right now. But anyway. But Chris Paul and the Suns yesterday did not have a good day in Dallas. Dallas looked like they owned him throughout the game. At one point, they led 37
and some
25.
dude was like touching his mother during the game.
And the wife.
Yeah.
And Chris Paul went after the fan after the game.
Man, if I was Chris Paul, I would have beat the crap out of that fan. I don't care if I get suspended or not.
Exactly.
Like, don't touch my wife, don't touch my mom, don't touch my kids.
Exactly.
Don't.
Chris Paul in the game, though, only had 5 points in the game, 2 for 4, surprisingly. Was fouled out of the game. He only made 1 3 in the game. He had a triple single, basically.
Triple single.
5 points, 5 of 6, 6 rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
Bridges had 6 points in the game, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, another triple single for him. Crowder had 15 points, 6 rebounds. Ayton, 14 points, 11 rebounds. What the hell happened to him? Can I just say that for a second? What the hell happened to this powerhouse, Ayton? He
was a beast last year. Now he's just an average player.
Did something happen to this guy? Did he get told that his mom, took his, Sour Patches or something? Like what happened?
I honestly thought Ayton would make the All-Star team this year.
Yeah.
I thought that would happen.
So did I.
No, he's just been the same average player that he has been.
Yeah. Luka Doncic had a struggling day shooting the ball, 9 for 25 overall, 1 for 10 from 3, had 26 points. Finney had 24 points for the Mavericks. Jalen Brunson, who's really been the star of this whole playoff run for the Mavericks, it really wasn't for him. They probably wouldn't even been advancing. But yeah, he had 18 points in the game, 7 for 17, 1 for 3 from 3. He had a good game, had a good showing. Mavericks might actually pull this off. Who knows? They might pull off the upset. I can just see it. Go back to Miami and Philadelphia for just a second. Embiid, Harden had 31 points. I think he said 34. I made a mistake. 31. Maxey had 18 points. Embiid had 24 points, 11 rebounds. Tobias Harris had 13 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Danny Green had 11 points and 2 rebounds. But Embiid's return has been a difference maker right now. This is a guy right now who had a fractured orbital thing, had a problem with his wrist, a lot of problems really going on. But he's been back right now. He's been a beast for this Philadelphia 76ers team. And that's that. Miami at this point, not really responsive to the last 2 games. Hero had 11 points and Olivo had 15 points. The rest
In
of the
Miami,
bench.
Florida, it's 82 degrees Fahrenheit with partly sunny skies.
Okay. Okay.
Today, you can look for just
Alexa!
Wisconsin.
Anyway.
I don't know.
Alexa just malfunctioned and just went over the Miami weather. I don't care about Miami weather, even though I love.
Miami's great.
Miami's a great place to go. Really, the story of this game was Jimmy Butler was kind of a ball hog in this game. Was good, not great, but.
Jimmy Butler put the team on the back.
Points. Yeah.
But he still lost.
Yep. Abedo had 21 points. Lowry had 6, and Strutz had 6. So that was it. Miami and Philadelphia are at a dead even lock here. I believe Game 4 is on, Game 5 is on Wednesday, or not Wednesday, Tuesday.
Tuesday and Wednesday, I believe.
Yeah. So Celtics are on tomorrow. I think. Wait, who was that playing tonight? Let me see. Celtics are on tonight, 7:30. Grizzlies and Warriors are on tonight at 10. So that's that. Anyway, that's that. That's all you need to talk about the box score for those games. We have an NBA MVP, and it's not who you think it is. Take it away.
It's Nikola Jokic. He won his second MVP in a row.
Back-to-back MVPs.
Now, this is my problem with the thing. He did play a little bit better than last year, but he should have been MVP.
No.
It should have been Embiid.
Should have been MVP
Sorry.
for sure. Embiid
Look how valuable he is to the team.
Yeah. Should have been MVP the year before, too.
Also, look at it. The year before?
Oh, yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
You know, the fact is, many people are probably going to forget Jokic won these MVPs.
Yeah. He's been the most forgettable MVP 2 years in a row. It's kind of sad, actually.
Let me look up his stats real quick.
I don't think he really deserved.
The thing is, the Sixers had a better record than the Nuggets. The Nuggets had 48 wins. The Sixers, I believe, had 51, 52.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, Jokic wouldn't have even been a top 3 MVP in my consideration.
He averaged 13.2 rebounds a game. Shit.
He averaged. Wait, what?
Yeah, that's right.
He averaged 27 points, 58% field goal percentage, 13 rebounds, well, basically 14, and 8 assists.
Yeah.
But Embiid has been just so dominant this year.
Yeah. The entire year he's been more dominant than Joker was. I gotta say it. I mean, that's just
the team record's better.
Yeah. Talk about highway robbery at this point.
Embiid this year averaged basically 31 points, shot 50%, 12 rebounds, 4 assists. Now those stats may seem a little lighter, but in terms of the impact, Embiid should have been MVP.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Jokic wouldn't have even been top 3 in my MVP rankings.
I don't think it would be
top 5. I would have had number 1 Embiid, number 2 Giannis, number 3 Curry, 4 Jokic, 5 Tatum.
Did you say Tatum twice?
No.
Okay, I thought you said Tatum twice. I don't know. I had Tatum as third on my list. I had Giannis as second, Embiid first, and I had.
I'll say in reality, if the Lakers were better, heck, LeBron would have been MVP. To be honest.
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know.
But Embiid should have won. Jokic, you should just give your trophy to Embiid right now because you shouldn't have won it. I will call the cops.
Yeah, he will call the cops. He will
this is a robbery.
It is a robbery.
Embiid by goal for 40 points next year.
Canelo Alvarez upset this weekend in a boxing fight with Dimtrov.
Oh, yeah.
Very shocking. Loss there.
I didn't see that coming.
Neither did I. In fact, if anybody saw this coming, you're all full of crap.
You
need help. There's no way that anybody out there would have expected this from Canelo Alvarez.
This has been a bad week for boxing. Canelo
got
knocked out. And in the UFC, Scott Chandler knocked the head off of Tony Ferguson.
That was
one of the nastiest knockouts I've ever seen in my life.
I thought we were watching a scene from Face Off when I was watching it.
But Tony Ferguson, he used to be great, had a fall for me. I'm pretty sure he's lost his last 4 fights.
Insanity.
Yeah.
Absolutely insanity. I think it was by stunning unanimous win. Stunning unanimous. I did not think it would be unanimous either, but apparently it was. All 3 judges scored the fight 115-113, but the bout was wasn't nearly that close. Still, Bivol needed to win the final rounds on all 3 cards to avoid a draw. Equally puzzling, all 3 judges scored the first 4 rounds for Alvarez. Bivol, by the way, who came into the thing here at the 19-0, now he's now 20-0 with now 11 knockouts. So it's crazy. It's crazy. I can't believe it actually happened. So Bivol, congratulations. Alvarez, get to work.
Yeah.
So get to work.
Get back in the lab.
Earl Thomas he's a troubled man. He has a
Yeah.
warrant out for his arrest. This is according to Sports Illustrated by Zach Coons. I don't know if I'm saying that.
Kakuku.
Anyway, this is what was said today. An arrest warrant has been issued for the former Seattle Seahawks star Earl Thomas after police said that Thomas violated
Signed by his girlfriend, I believe. His wife.
a court protective order by sending threatening messages to a woman about her and her children. Court records show that the warrant signed on April 27 charges Thomas with a third-degree felony for allegedly violating a protective order from May of 2021 that stated he could only communicate with the woman through a co-parenting phone app.
Oh, what?
According to the paper. This is I'm not kidding about this. This is actually
A
co-parenting phone app.
They have co-parenting phone apps.
Apparently they do. This is actually news to me too.
That's stupid. Just text like regular people.
Exactly. As of Friday afternoon, Thomas has not been booked into the Travis County Jail. The arrest warrant comes shortly after the 33-year-old told Adam Schefter on April 22nd that he wants to pursue a return to the NFL.
I feel like he could have.
He could have.
But
Now
this just ruined his chances of ever going back.
That just killed it. I mean, this guy.
Earl Thomas was probably honestly been one of the best safeties in the league for
forever.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
The past decade he's been in the league.
And besides Ed Reed, I mean, he made.
I mean, in terms of like the past decade, like ever since he entered the league, he's been one of the best.
Yeah.
How the heck you go from
that to
it's all pro, all NBA, all NFL,
to now
won a Super Bowl,
yep,
top safety to being a criminal, basically.
Sending threatening messages through a co-parenting phone app. That's what the world's coming to now. Not regular phone text messaging, but now you got to create an app to message people.
That's stupid.
It's like this is
honestly, that's so stupid. We got many apps to communicate with people. Why would we gotta make a certain one?
I just think that's just weird.
Like unless the police are tracking it.
What's it called? What's it called? Crazy X message? Is that what it's called?
X message.
X message.
X messaging system.
Exactly. Like that to me just sounds really dumb. This whole thing just sounds idiotic if you ask me. And Earl Thomas just ruined his chance to come back to the NFL. He did. Yeah. There's no shot, in my opinion, that he gets back. I'd be stunned.
Honestly, is Earl Thomas a Hall of Fame player?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so, but
I don't think he's first ballot, but I mean he belongs in that conversation.
Also, he'll probably still get in it one day.
He'll get into it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as all this noise clears and the co-parenting app no longer exists.
Co-parenting app.
I mean,
oh my god, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
It is. But again, sorry for Earl Thomas. Not really, but at the same time, grow up, dude. You gotta treat women right, man. Respect women. That's all I gotta say. Don't send threatening messages. Don't threaten to kidnap the children.
Respect women. Yeah, I understand that, but like sometimes, if the woman disrespects you,
there's always two sides.
You shouldn't respect someone who doesn't respect you, regardless of what people say.
Yeah, but just
like they always say, respect your elders. If an old dude talks shit to me, I'm not gonna respect him for that.
No, I wouldn't respect him either. I'd tell him to go croak.
Yeah.
Actually, I wouldn't say that.
No, I wouldn't say that. I was like, yeah, go fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of bizarre because like after a while, it's like you think Earl Thomas would have the control. The guy, I don't think has any anger management issues, but this
is whatever situation is going on for him is probably bothering him heavily.
But the way their story is pinpointing it, it's like, oh, this guy's got issues now, and they can only use this stupid app.
In reality, what if it's not even Earl Thomas's fault? What if it's just his baby mama or whatever that's just causing all this crap?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
if Earl Thomas should be like a decent guy, I'd be like, yeah,
this whole
can I just see my kids?
Yeah, that's what I would want to do. He probably want to see his kids, and one was like, no. And that's what led to this whole thing, probably. But we won't ever know.
I feel like most of the time, say if a couple does go through like a divorce or something,
right,
and then the woman takes custody, most of the time they'll be like, yeah, I don't ever want to see you, dude. Ever want to see you with the kids again. And the dude didn't do anything wrong. Yada yada yada. Woman cheated the entire time. It's like, yeah, one custody of the kids for some reason. It's like, nah, you're not seeing my kids.
That's pretty sad.
I'll be like, bitch, I'm the father. I have done nothing wrong. I've treated them right. I've raised them right. I should see my kids.
Yeah. Roger Goodell was called out by
Racist.
Papa John's, and he also called out the Jerry Jones, saying how he's incompetent. This is more of the story right here. This is the moral of the story. This came from First Sports. This is written by the art. I'm trying to see who it was written by Samedith Joshi.
Hmm.
I'm even saying that name right. I'm probably not. But he went on to say Goodell is a coward and he's incompetent. Jerry Jones and other NFL owners wanted to fire Roger Goodell.
Honestly, I'm surprised Goodell is last long.
I'm not. I'm not taking a line because Goodell's getting paid $500 million to be a simp, $500 million to be a clown, $500 million to be mocked by the media, $500 million to go show up and be mocked by the fans at the games. He actually sits with the fans most of the time. You don't see that often from a commissioner. You just don't.
I mean, heck, if I was getting paid $500 million to do that, I'd be like, yo.
To be hacking like that, though, it's like after a while, it's like, okay, you're taking it to a whole other level. We get it. You're getting paid $500 million. You want to get mocked by people, but like, it's just stupid. But here's what this is.
Let's be like, yeah, look at my bank account. Look at all you.
This is what former Papa John's CEO John Chandler revealed on the Fearless with Jason Whitlock last month about a situation in 2017, which is what claimed that the owner of the Commanders, Daniel Snyder, and owner of the Cowboys, Jerry Jones, wanted to get the NFL commissioner Roger Goodell fired. National anthem controversy. Now, this to me, I will say this though. I think Goodell should have been fired from this thing from the get-go. He did not handle the whole national anthem controversy well.
I honestly thought that was when he was going to get fired.
That's when he should have gotten fired right there and then. The whole handling that whole situation. This ties in with what AB said about Colin Kaepernick, which I'll get to that in just a second.
Mm-hmm.
But Colin Kaepernick used that thing as a platform. He knew he was going to lose his job. He knew he was not in the right frame of mind. He knew the freaking coach that basically took over for who was it? Jim Harbaugh was out to get him. There was no doubt about it. And he dragged his friends along with him. And that's why they can't get a job anywhere else in the NFL now. Now, to have a group of followers follow you along and you completely trash their lifestyle for good and they're not looked at the same as what they did, it's not a good thing, right? This whole thing with the national anthem thing, it didn't surprise me. The fact that the people who get involved are because you got one owner who literally freaking robbed his fan base of ticket revenue. Or actually, I shouldn't say fan base. Sorry, the front office of ticket revenue information kept that a secret from all the NFL owners. And Jerry Jones is willing to go to a place where there's prostitutes and hookers on Harry Hines Boulevard. So the fact that you're going to call in a guy who you're paying $500 million, who they're paying $500 million to, is not getting fired because of this. It's not that surprising. You know, people say, "Oh, Goodell runs the league." He hasn't run the league once. The only time he ran the league was when he made it saying, "Hey, listen, I take this job, but you listen to my input right here about these Spygate things," which, by the way, that's still happening, no matter how you look at it. There's Spygate all over the place when it comes to NFL teams. Doesn't matter who's the team's who. Doesn't matter who's involved. It's still around. It was an issue for one NFL team because the Patriots, who went 16-0 that year, they were accused of using it. And you know what? Yeah, they did. So what? Who cares? You try to beat them then. Common sense. But anyway, they want to call the Patriots out. Oh, they cheated. You know what? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. That's the way I see it. Spygate thing to me is not even an issue. It's another way to get some film. It's another way to get some data and some information. Just do it. Shut up. Live with it. Move on. That's when I couldn't stand Roger Goodell because he was the mastermind behind the whole cheating scandal thing and making the NFL soft and all that crap with the concussions and the CTEs. It's soft. That's what it comes down to.
Honestly, the concussion thing I kind of understand because you do want to protect the players in their lives.
I get it, but don't turn into flag football. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, basically.
Don't.
Crap! Look what they did to the Pro Bowl.
Don't turn into Don't turn into baseball where the referees take over the entire things. The umpires take over because they want to make it.
Oh my God! It's not even start with the refs.
It's exactly like
the refs are terrible.
Exactly.
Bad call after bad call after bad call.
Exactly. But back to the national anthem country. This story continues here. As per the New York Post, Shatner had a feud with Goodell and blamed him for Papa John's stock taking a hit. The CEO of the pizza chain was against the players taking the national anthem. Shatner also told fellow owners that it was not his job to get rid of Goodell. Remember, Goodell is a coward and he's an incompetent. Where he says he's a coward and incompetent, and he's just lucky. Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, Indira Noy. And Dan Snyder all called me several other folks about Goodell's conduct and the way he was handling this. Jones and Dan Snyder wanted Goodell fired. This is like the 1st of November, end of October. Okay. That makes sense. They called and said, you need to take this guy out. You're the number one sponsor of the league as far as notoriety and acceptance and association. Everybody loves you. They love Peyton Manning. We hate Goodell. Okay. That's what it says here. So Shatner added that he denied this request as it was not responsible to take the commissioner out of his position. He works for you. I just sell pizzas. I have a family of small business. I have a family of small business.
He works for you. I just sell pizzas, man.
Probably 35% of our spends NFL. It's down 20%. This behavior of not addressing the issue to the owners and players' satisfaction is causing me and my franchises a lot of problems. And this going on now for 2 seasons. I had a free shot from 2 owners to go after Goodell personally. I didn't go after him in a vicious, venomous way. I just said, hey, grow up, be a leader, and fix the problem so my small business owners stop taking it to the chin. Despite all this, Roger Goodell went up to sign another contract guaranteeing him of sum of $50 million annually, so making $50 million every year, and access to a private jet for the remainder of his life. Shatner, on the other hand, had resigned as the chairman after he was embroiled in a scandal that involved him saying the N-word on a conference call. So, there's no innocent party here. This is my take on the whole thing.
Yeah, basically.
Goodell should be fired. Shatner, I think, should have been the new commissioner of the NFL. If he really wants to change the NFL in his own way, if he wants to spread a message, get Goodell fired. Make some crap up. He was probably behind all this stuff right now. There was probably a secret meeting nobody knows about that involved Colin Kaepernick, all the commissioners, all the owners, and Goodell himself. And he probably said to them, listen, you may not like this, but I may nail down for the national anthem. And they're all like, oh, why? Because this is how cool. Like, why? Why would you do that? And Goodell was like, you know what? You want to send a message? You think this is going to change the way our country goes right now? If you want to make a positive change, if you want to stop police brutality, if that's your message, go ahead. Because they probably didn't even want to call him out for being a liar, and they want to have Goodell saying this believing black person's a liar, blah blah blah, and stuff like this. So they want to avoid that as much as possible. In my opinion, they all knew this was going to happen. They didn't realize how much controversy it was going to cause. And for anyone out there that said it was a Trump thing, well, this guy was doing that before Trump even stepped into the White House. I'm sorry. In reality, Goodell allowed it to happen. He should have been fired, and it should have been up to Jerry Jones and Dan Snyder, the 2 geezers, by the way, who were always up to no good. You know who should have been up with? The guy who brought you the NFL back in 2011. I don't know. What's his name? Oh, yeah, Robert Kraft. Robert Kraft should have been the one that should have fired him on the spot. He knew that was wrong. Kraft should have fired him. Because here's the thing that really gets me is that he never even got caught for this. So Brady took that 4-game suspension the year before this, right? He said I was the one that was involved in the spy game, even though he really wasn't. He really wasn't. He just played for the team. He didn't go behind the scenes. He didn't go with Alex Guerrero and look for Spygate stuff in 2007 because Guerrero wasn't even a thing until 2017, right? So you have a story like this, and you hear this stuff right now. And here's the thing: when Shatner said the N-word, that's kind of on him. That's him being stupid. I don't think he should have resigned in that moment. I think he should have taken sensitivity training. Because I think one offense like that, unless there was,
doesn't mean that in the world.
Unless there was more offenses than this than resign. This was crucial right here for Goodell. This was happening more than on one occasion with crapping at kneeling down for the national or just sitting down during the national anthem. It was not good for the fan base. I don't know what these guys were thinking in allowing this to happen to begin with. You're basically allowing a guy to spit in the faces of the military, spit in the faces of the people who serve and protect our country, to then kneel down and say, oh, I'm not participating in the national anthem with police brutality. You want to know why there's a lot of police brutality? Because this is their MO now. Shoot now and ask questions later. Or answer questions later. Not ask
basically
questions, but answer questions later. That's their mentality. It's not a race thing. People want to come up with all the statistics saying, they say these racist things. Okay, that's the old guard out there who don't give a crap, want to retire, have got nothing better to do. They ran out of donuts, they ran out of coffee, and they're angry they got to work a midnight shift. Get over it. It's called third shift. It's called a graveyard shift. They call it that for a reason. It's always freaking dead. Not literally dead, not physically dead, but but just dead like there's nothing going on. Okay? So
well, actually, most shit does happen at night. Like,
I know. You live next door to a guy who goes, no, as loud as possible. So, I mean, I get it. But Goodell should have been fired. Kraft should have stepped in. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers owner should have stepped in. And you want to know something? This all could have been avoided by the 49ers if, I don't know, they fired the head coach that wanted Kaepernick gone from the team in the first place. And here's another way of looking at it as well. If Kaepernick was such a problem, such an issue in the locker room for the 49ers, then release him. If he made his announcement to the Goodell, which we all know he did, but we're never going to find out about the secret meeting because it's never going to be revealed, then release him. That way you avoid all these problems. Now, the problem is now you got a guy like Kaepernick now who calls the NFL owners a bunch of slavers, which I look at like this. That's just that, you talk about, a white person shouldn't say this because it's racist, but when Kaepernick says it, there's nothing wrong with it. And Kaepernick wants to act like that he's a victim. He's growing up in bad neighborhoods. You know what Antonio Brown did? He buried him. He was on an interview. I don't know what podcast it was, but he buried him and said, no, he didn't come from that neighborhood. I came from that neighborhood. And Colin Kaepernick was one of those special privileged kids. He exposed this guy for what he is. Exposed him. And you know something? I can't believe I'm actually going to say this, but way to go, Antonio Brown. Way to freaking go. For him to expose him like that, and for Shannon Sharp to go out and defend him and say, I think he said Colin Kaepernick is right here and AB's wrong. You're all nuts. To say that Colin Kaepernick is right here for kneeling down during the national anthem, that's stupid. That's stupid. And they're not even doing it anymore, which thank freaking God, because they stopped doing it after, 2018. 2019, I think they stopped doing it. But you get my point, though. This whole thing's ridiculous, and Goodell should have been fired for it. It's not like the owners were just cowards in the whole thing. But see, the problem is, here's the reason why they're not going to fire Goodell. Because they like this guy, and they don't want to pay. And right now, they can't stop payment right now on a commissioner. They just can't do it. By ruling of the NFL like that, once you sign a commissioner to a contract, whether you release him or not. Like, think about it.
He still got to pay him regardless.
Exactly. Like Bud Selig, when he got let go back in 2016, I believe, he still has 5 years with that contract at the time. You still paid him. Now, Goodell probably would want more money to stay at home because COVID was around too, remember? If you would have fired Goodell, and he's probably looking around saying, oh, this company's giving people more money here. They're giving me more money here. Do you think the NFL was going to pay him $100 million to stay at home and not be part of the commissioner of the league? It's never going to work. It was never going to happen. So Goodell, in my opinion, would have gotten fired. The contract would have been cut in half here. It would have added to a big, giant lawsuit. And that's why he's not fired. If you want my honest opinion here right now, going forward right now, if Colin Kaepernick is back in the league at this point and does this again, then Goodell will get fired. Mark my words. If Colin Kaepernick goes back on his word and plays in the NFL and kneels down during that, he doesn't even have to be playing the actual game and be a starter. But just to be on the bench and still doing this crap and not staying up for the national anthem, and I don't know, writing woke Nick instead of Kaepernick and put a woke thing on the back of his jersey and kneeling down during the national anthem, then you fire Goodell. That's what you do. You fire Goodell. You tell him, listen, you let this idiot back in here. You have him cause all these problems. You fire him. And you know what's going to end up happening? And I guarantee you this one right now because I can see it coming a mile away. If that happens, then the whole Brian Flores lawsuit comes back up again. Then the Goodell lawsuit comes back up again. You know what's going to end up happening? DeMaurice Smith either gets the job from Goodell, because we all know he's gunning for Goodell's job anyway, or because, Brian Flores now at this point will never coach again in the NFL. And he probably doesn't even like the job right now as a completely forgotten defensive line coach or whatever he is, linebacker coach.
Linebacker coach for the Steelers.
Right. Then Flores will probably take that spot. Because it's all going to add into race, and they're going to have no choice but to put him back as a commissioner. Or DeMaurice Smith. One of the two. So, and this is a guy, by the way, who prevented the NFL from happening because he was at odds with Roger Goodell. So in 2011, if it wasn't for Robert Kraft, you would have never had an NFL season. It would have been just DeMaurice Smith and Goodell in the corner like this. Not talking, Not looking at each other,
just
sitting
sitting like
sitting like
babies.
that, crossed arm, looking at that window right there. That's what we would have gotten in 2011. Now, you could have had an NFL lockout in 2016, which that almost happened, by the way. Thanks to Colin Kaepernick with a kneel down during the national. It was almost people that were boycotting games almost at one point in 2016.
Yeah, I remember that.
So here's my opinion right now going forward. If Kaepernick comes back in the league and does this kneeling crap again, not only will Goodell get fired, but they'll stop paying on that thing, period, regardless. Because that's when you really stop paying. You really stop paying that man after he allows a guy like that to come back in the league and kneel down for the national anthem. And does this all over again. And I don't even want Kaepernick back in this league. I don't. Because personally, I think he was average. I don't think he really cared about the NFL. I think he's a hypocrite by saying right now that he wants to play, but he calls up every NFL owner and talks crap about them. Like, you're not doing yourself a favor by doing that.
Also, I feel like he does want to play, but like you said, he says every owner is crap.
He's a hypocrite.
If you want to play, why would you say that?
Like, if you want to be a player / an owner at this point, you don't have that right to do that.
I mean, best chance for you right now is probably to go to Canada or USFL or the XFL when that runs.
Or fan control football.
Or fan control.
Exactly. That's your best chance. And I already said this from the get-go right now. I don't remember what episode it was, but I remember saying this. I'm pretty sure I said this. That fan control league is a way to redeem yourself. It is. T.O. right now has probably been the best player right now going there right now so far. Tyreek Hill, who's for whatever reason playing defense there, he got like 3 pick sixes now, right? 4 maybe?
I mean, heck, even Johnny Manziel's playing somewhat decent.
Even Johnny Manziel. And Manziel was written out of the league before Colin Kaepernick even.
Manziel's not getting back in the league, but he's still like trying to redeem himself.
No, exactly. And I don't think he wants to go back to the NFL. I think he wants to stay in that league.
He said he doesn't want to go back.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't want to go back. So Kaepernick.
Yeah, I actually saw like an interview on him. It was like I forgot what interview it was. What it was for, like Barstool or like some podcast.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure
he was talking about like his life, like all the choices he made, like all the mistakes he made, saying like he doesn't really know what he wants to do in his life still.
Yeah. The AB stuff, I got that story from Black and White Sports. I don't know what podcast they got it from, but they were able to do the story from there. And I got to be honest right now about the NFL right now. They're in deep shit right now at this point. If they get Kaepernick to come back and somehow do this again, then Goodell's fired. And I can't even actually going to say this, but I don't think Goodell should be fired just for that. I think Goodell should be fired for other things, really, honestly. Besides, because the Tom Brady firing was Tom Brady firing. Tom Brady controversy was just an obsession. It was. It was a guy who had.
It was gunning for him all season. He's still gunning for him right now.
He's been gunning for him for the last 15 years. No difference. Doesn't make one iota of a difference. Just doesn't. Anyway, stick with the NFL right now. Richard Sherman, according to PFT, NBCSports.com, Pro Football Talk. Richard Sherman has not announced his retirement from the NFL, but appears to be heading toward a non-playing role for the 2022 season.
A podcasting gig. Broadcasting and podcasting. Broadcasting. Yeah, broadcasting.
Yeah. Ian Rappaport, he was on a podcast at one point with Chris Collins doing PFT stuff. But anyway, Ian Rappaport of NFL Media reports that Sherman is in deep talks for a role with Amazon. Amazon made the winning bid for the rights to broadcast Thursday Night Football starting this season. Alan Michaels, Kurt Hershey will be calling those games. It is not clear, however, though, what role Sherman would play for these broadcasts. Report adds that Sherman will stay in shape should a playing opportunity arise at some point. Cap and Achilles injuries have limited him to 10 games over the last 2 seasons. However, and the interest in a broadcasting job suggests that Sherman's time as an active player is likely up. I think it is.
Yeah.
I think Richard Sherman has done as far as playing goes. He's got too many injury issues. It's taken over his life.
If it is done, he's had a great career.
He's had a great career.
Definitely Hall of Fame worthy.
Definitely Hall of Fame worthy for sure. I don't know if he's first ballot, but he's definitely probably second ballot, probably third, probably mid-second ballot. My opinion on this one here is this. I think Sherman would be good for a broadcasting role. I just can't see it with Amazon. I just can't see it. I can't see him being a 3-man booth with Al Michaels and Kurt Herbstreit. I'm sorry. I don't think you need a third guy in that booth. Those two, the chemistry will work well together. They got great personality. Al Michaels has been doing it for so long. Why the hell would you need a third person? Why would you even consider that if you're Amazon? And I know it's for the younger viewers out there who probably have no idea who Al Michaels is. Probably doesn't even remember Al Michaels, even though Al Michaels is the most remembered broadcaster of all time.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, it's for people out there who think like, oh, Richard Sherman, let's add him to the booth because he's well known with the children. He's well known with the millennials. Give me a break. You know what the guy's known for? Scaring the crap out of at least the Celtics, out of Aaron Andrews during that interview. I wish I had the clip on me. Remember that clip when he won the NFC title game?
Oh yeah, where he's like trying to sorry.
Exactly.
Receiver like crap. That's what you're gonna get.
Exactly.
Iconic.
He's remembered for that.
He does have a great personality though.
He does have a great personality. I just can't see that gelling. Though.
Just gotta find him the right partner.
I think, if anything, because I heard the NFL might be doing Apple TV this year, he'd be good for that. You want to know who he could add for Apple TV for that, just for the hell of it? And I think it would be a wonderful idea.
Michael Crabtree.
Yeah, actually, I wouldn't even mind it. I wouldn't even mind it.
This sorry receiver is my broadcast colleague.
Yeah, I look at it like this. You want to talk about two guys who got great chemistry and great personality? It's those two. And Richard Sherman, if you didn't notice on the name of the episode, I did name this is the next Gus Johnson. Sherman is loud like Gus Johnson. If you have heard Gus Johnson behind the broadcasting booth, he's loud. I remember one time I was at an Ohio State Rutgers game. This was back in 2017. He happened to be broadcasting that game that night when I was there in New Jersey. Pretty loud. Could hear him from the other side of the stadium. So I'm not even sure that was even Gus Johnson. I could even be wrong too by saying that. So don't quote me on if it was Gus Johnson, whether or not it was or not. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was him. Mm-hmm. But if you heard him call the Broncos and Bengals game, it's just him screaming. Like the tip pass where Kyle went to the touchdown! Wow!
Godly.
That's Richard Sherman right there. If you put him on Apple TV, or if you put him on Hulu, put him on Hulu with Michael Crabtree. I rest my case. That right there, he deserves a job in my opinion. He's just as loud as Gus Johnson is. And Gus Johnson, I've seen him before broadcast. The guy's a nut job when he broadcasts. And it seems like he has like 3 different voice vocals going on all at once when he does broadcast. It sounds like a manly thing. Then he gets to a higher pitch. And it's almost like feminine at that point. It's weird. Sherman will just straight up just call the action as is. Michael Crabtree, I think, would be a good play-by-play guy. I think Sherman can introduce the room a little bit better than Michael Crabtree would if he's going to be broadcast partner with him. I don't even know. But just put him in with a 3-man booth to me with Al Michaels, Kurt Herbstreit just doesn't make a lot of sense. It just doesn't. By the way, we got some NFL stuff to talk about other than that. The Vikings and the Eagles and the Titans and Bills will have a Monday night doubleheader on September 19th. That will be very interesting to watch. The Titans and Bills are on 7:15 on ESPN. And as well as the Vikings and the Eagles in Philly, 8:30 Eastern time on ABC. So you have a nice doubleheader split apart, one starting an hour and 15 minutes later than the other one. It's good. I like it. I hope the NFL continues with it. I hope they do more of the doubleheader stuff in Monday Night Football. You cram so many games on Sundays to me, it's just like, okay, split up a little bit. You know what I mean? If you want to do a doubleheader every week, fine. I have no problem with that. And I think the NFL should have done it a long time ago. The whole West Coast thing to me, though, it's like, oh, this game started at 10:15. I'm like, no one's going to want to watch a game at 10:15 at night. Nobody. I mean, unless it's the NBA. Then they'll watch an NBA game until 1 o'clock in the morning. The NFL, but to me, it's like the NFL doing a West Coast game at 10:15 at night. It's like, don't get me wrong, it'd be entertaining. I like the idea of it, but I don't mind a game starting at 7:15 and one starting at 8:30. I don't want to wait till 10:15 to watch a game. I just don't. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know what that was. I don't know what the hell you're watching there. You just
something really stupid.
That was a really dumb. I don't know. Was that like a toy monkey?
Yeah.
That was a legitimate video.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you like this show, hit the like button, subscribe. We are basically gonna wrap it up here.
Mixtape.
This was a actually, I'm surprised we're only on here for an hour and 9 minutes. That's kind of weird. I really thought we were on. Anyway, so Anyway, so thank you for watching the show.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, is there anything else I need to talk about here before I go there?
No, have a good day. Yeah.
No,
Oh, that landed.
Oh, that was actually pretty cool. That was nice. Oh, we got some trade rumors going on before we go off the air here. We got some trade rumors that involve one Jimmy G. So this is what
I'm honestly surprised he hasn't been traded yet.
Yeah,
I thought he would be. Like, yeah, Trey Lance is definitely a starter.
Oh, that's a weird. I'm not gonna look at that. Okay.
Again.
Jimmy Garoppolo trade rumors. 49ers aiming to deal the quarterback just before the training camp. Per report, Cody Benjamin is report as of right now.
Hey.
Almost all of this year's big quarterback dominoes have fallen. Jimmy Garoppolo is not one of them. Despite publicly acknowledging he'd likely be traded soon after the end of the 21 NFL season, the 49ers veteran remains on the 49ers roster as he recovers from shoulder surgery. And the team doesn't expect to deal with the quarterback until just before training camp. So obviously it'll be mid-June or late June, probably.
Because I already said Trey Lance is going to be a starter.
So Lance will be their starter no matter what. So it'll be a matter of where he goes.
Is it smart? I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably give him another year to learn, but
they
invested so much in Trey Lance, so I don't see why they wouldn't start him.
Yeah, it's interesting at this point. And we got some more stuff before we gotta look at it right now. I'm gonna look at some baseball scores because one of the games just went to final. The Yankees beat the Rangers today 1-0. They won 3 out of 4 against the Texas Rangers. It was a makeup game from yesterday. And the Orioles beat the Kansas City Royals 6-1. Let's see, we got games on tonight. We got Dodgers Pirates tonight, Brewers Reds, A's Tigers, Guardians White Sox, Rays Angels, Marlins Diamondbacks, Phillies Mariners, Cubs Padres, and Rockies Giants are on later on tonight. For hockey, because it's more hockey playoffs tonight, and great craziness going on in sports right now. We got a lot of postseason stuff going on in baseball. Let's see. Hockey tonight. Let's see. We have the Panthers taking on the Capitals tonight. The Capitals lead 2-1 in their series. Game 4 is on tonight. Rangers facing the Penguins. Penguins beat them the other night 7-5. Back in their Game 3. Game 4 still in Pittsburgh. Colorado Avalanche looking to sweep the Predators tonight. They're up 3-0 in their series. And the Dallas Stars are up 2-1, surprisingly, over the Calgary Flames. They are continuing their series tonight in Dallas tonight on 9:30. You can get coverage on TBS and ESPN for coverage there. We're now done.
Mm-hmm.
We're now officially done. Watch NBA, watch some hockey, watch some baseball, watch old football clips if you have to. If you want to watch WWE Wrestling, Raw is on tonight. If you want to watch AEW on Wednesday, that's on Wednesday.
Yep. Or
Schedule.
the AEW Dark Elevation show is on YouTube tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna be here probably Friday, probably Saturday. Hell, we might even be here Thursday. We're doing the NFL schedule recap. We might even do that. We're not sure yet. We'll let you all know. We did this episode today because I'm not gonna be here tomorrow because I got to babysit my grandmother who's on Alzheimer's. I think it seems like now she's getting Alzheimer's. She's getting there. She's getting to that age now where she can't remember things. She's getting old. But shout out to my grandmother. She finally watched one of my episodes of my podcast. So thank you, Grandma. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Party.
So we're done with episode 45. Like, subscribe.
Buy my mixtape.
Buy his
all
mixtape.
that.
All that. If you want to comment, leave a comment in the section below. Follow our social media. Our social media below. Because we are done. Goodbye.
Yes. Throw my wallet at this. Here's my wallet.